All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? We are back with another edition of the NBA show. We're coming to you an hour later. I had to finish up the work week. My guy Matt was nice enough to push it back an hour. Appreciate all you tuning in. It's about to be Snowmageddon here, Matt. We were talking a little bit pre-show. Tennessee, Nashville in particular is about to get bombarded. They say we're not used to this. You said it's damn near zero there. So you're cold. You're hunkered down. Hopefully your week's going on. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, bro. Happy to be back on here with you. After last Friday, I think I was with Tidal, so a little week hiatus, but back at it here. And yeah, it's supposed to be cold everywhere. It's already freezing here. Hopefully the snow doesn't get too crazy where you are, because I know, like you said, as we were talking, where you're at, it's not really built for snowstorms like that. So hopefully the snow and the ice takes it easy on you guys. But yeah, we got some hoops to talk about in the meantime.
Yeah, hoops to talk about. You know, we'll be indoors tonight. 6 games to break it all down. We're going to do it. We ask you, only favor we ask, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And it is 6 games, which means that we're leaving off the Bucks and the Nuggets game. And I can't talk trash about my boy Giannis. I know Newen's not in here yet, I don't think, but I'm a Giannis hater, Matt. So he was whining about only shooting it 11 times last game. Riddle me this, riddle me that. But no Giannis to discuss tonight. That's all we'll talk about Giannis. We're going to get right into the first 6 games of the night. It is going to be a good real-life game. We got the Twins going at it, the Thompson brothers. Rockets heading into the East-leading Pistons. Cade Cunningham, who missed last game. He is questionable tonight, but he looks like he is going to play. He was at shoot-around. And then we got the Rockets team, pretty healthy, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Matt. But should be a good real-life game. You see the total there on the screen, 4-point spread, 216-point total, which is kind of light in my opinion. Should be a good defensive battle. But talk to me about this game, Houston at Detroit.
Yeah, despite having a bunch of really good players in this game, very, very unappealing from a DFS perspective. You've got a Houston team coming off OT last night in Philly, now in one of the toughest spots in the league, going to Detroit. So you mean Steven Adams is out for Houston? He's been out. So like their big men, are playing a little bit more, but there's nothing here that stands out at all. I mean, someone like AP, Alpi Sengun, like, sure. I mean, I'm never going to say not to play a guy like that, especially a power forward or with power forward eligibility. But I like to kind of, if I'm playing one lineup here, I'm not getting to anything from this game except maybe Cade, because there's so much value. But even him, certainly nothing from Houston. And I guess that's an easy pivot over to Detroit. I just don't see it here. Cade was at shoot around. This game just looks so unappealing. Again, very good game from a real life perspective, but 2 really good defenses. Just you look at each spot that these teams are in, and it's just not a good spot. Price tags are where they should be. You've got no injuries, really. Again, presuming Cade is in, and with a couple really good spots later on in the slate, I think you're doing yourself a disservice playing too many guys from this game. Again, the Cades, the Senguns of the world, Durant even, always going to be in play on any given slate because they've got the upside to get there. But from a 1 lineup standpoint, from a 5 lineup standpoint, hell, even from like a 10 lineup standpoint, I'm not sure you're getting to very much, if anything, from this game. Do you see it differently?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This is like one of those, I don't know, old school games. Yeah, good real life game. Yeah, like you said, the Rockets went to OT last night after that maxi block, non-block, whatever you want to call. And then, yeah, going into this game, it's just going to be a good real life game, slowed down game, if you will, like, 110 to 106 type game, which there's some better games. So I'm with you. Yeah. Does Adams, I know you briefly mentioned Adams being out. Like, does that benefit, anybody on Houston's team? Like, is Sengun going to get more minutes? what does that mean for that position? I mean, Tari Easton is out as well. I don't know if that has anything to do, but who gets those minutes?
I mean, it's kind of been spreading them around. Like they've got guys that aren't appealing from a DFS perspective that can soak up those minutes. Josh Okogie is one of those guys. So with Adams having been out and Eason kind of been in and out of the lineup, pricing is just where it should be.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff there. And let me go back up to my boy Newens. Newens, I will not be out shoveling snow, man. That's not what your boy Ham does. We don't get enough for me to be out there shoveling, but if we did, I still wouldn't be out there shoveling. That was funny, made me chuckle. Next game up on the slate should be more of an up and down matchup. We got the Suns taking on the Hawks. No Chris Stapps tonight in this one. Suns 3.5-point favorites. We have Dylan Brooks going to shoot it maybe 74 times tonight. He just chucks them up there, Matt. He's a new man this year. The Hawks, obviously, after the trade, looks like a different team. But this should be an interesting DFS game in my perspective. But Phoenix Suns score 118, taking on the Hawks.
Yeah, so compared to the last game, I think this game is a lot more appealing. But I don't think it's like the most appealing game on the slate or a game where we're going to want to jam pieces in just because of the other spots that we have later on. And it's not necessarily games we have later on. It's teams that we have later on that just look really good. So from the Phoenix side, they're healthy. That's the thing. Both these teams are healthy and pricing is where it should be. So never going to fault anyone for playing someone like Devin Booker, but you look at his game log, it's few and far between the games where you really need D-Book in tournaments. So he's not someone I'm like overly excited to play at 8,800 price tag. You're getting no breaks there. I think my favorite piece of Phoenix, and it's risky-ish, but Mark Williams at 5,300 projects well. Big men can get to Atlanta. He should play good minutes here. He's been volatile, but presuming he gets his full run, he should have no problem getting there at 5,300. Not like a must play. We might get better center options. We might get Landell out. We might get Neemias Queta out. So know that going in. But as it stands now, Mark Williams projects for, close to 30 fantasy points, going to play. I have projected somewhere around 25 minutes. And in that scenario, at 5,300, you'll take that. So I think he looks like the best piece of Phoenix. Then it goes to be like guys like Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, who we've seen get there. Guys I'm just not excited to play on big slates. From the Atlanta side, kind of a similar story, honestly. It starts and ends with Jalen Johnson. He's expensive, though, at 10.5, and he got there last game, coming off 2 back-to-back really good games. Had a stretch of, I think, 3 or 4 after they had gotten CJ where he wasn't playing his best ball. Seems to be back in the groove. So on any slate he's on these days, he's always going to have one of, if not the highest upside of any spend-up option, and I don't think tonight is any exception. So he's always going to be in play, especially with the value we have. That said, it's not like he projects amazing at 10.5. So I don't think he's a must-play. Not sure he's a guy I'd play in cash. Depends on how much value we get later on. I don't play cash, so I don't need to worry about that. And in tournaments, if the ownership stays low-ish, I like him a lot. If it gets to be really, really high, I think there are ways to get around it. But again, with a ton of value on this slate, he might be just a pretty easy click, as he's been much of the year. After that, I think Onyeka Okongwu, he's always going to be a solid center option at 7,200. We've seen him play really good ball this year. No KP, as you mentioned, so I like him here. After that, I think you're getting pretty fringy. Price tags are up, like Dyson Daniels, CJ McCollum. We saw Luke Kennard have a massive game last time out. I'm not buying that. I mean, Corey Kispert was in the starting lineup. I think you could probably do worse as a filler than him, but after the first couple guys, I think it's getting pretty thin. Is there anything else you see from this game?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much spot on. I mean, I was going to mention Okongwu. I didn't know if you were going to go there, 7,200. He's played 33 minutes in every game, I think, for the last 7, except for the last one where he played 28 minutes. So they are a little thin in the front court with him. So I do like Okongwu, obviously like Johnson as well. And then D-Book, and then Rio's boy, Mark Williams, would be my favorite two sons. So I think we're pretty much in lockstep there. It's those four for me, really: Booker, Williams, Okongwu, and Johnson, Jalen Johnson. Really like Booker on FanDuel as well, where he's, I believe, $8,500 on FanDuel, which is a great price. I'm not going to sneak that one past anybody, but yeah, DB on FanDuel at $8,500 is a great play in my opinion.
Yeah, price tag is just lower there. Already pricing is like, if a guy is the same price on FanDuel, he's generally considered cheaper there, like a better value. Yep. So the fact that he's cheaper on FanDuel just makes him a significantly better play, obviously, even without the 3-point bonus. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got you called him out at the beginning. Dylan Brooks, he's not like a guy on any given slate when Phoenix is healthy. I'm like looking to click because of his projection, but to like your point, he's chucking a lot. So like on any given slate, he could get there with upside. So I think he's a tournament play.
Yeah. Yeah, good call out there. Yeah, no, too good to be great. What's guys asking about him there as well. Next up on the slate, talked about D. White being out. Derek White is out for the Celtics. The Nets played them tough. It was probably about a month or so ago in Boston. Obviously, lots changed since then, but we got the Celtics going into Brooklyn to take on this. I don't even know what you call this Nets team, but any love for Peyton Pritchard, JB, I think you mentioned Queta earlier. Any love for these Celtics guys? No Derek White's opening up roughly 15 shots, for this team. But talk to me about this game. Celtics, another low total taking on the Nets.
Yeah, finally have a big injury here to talk about. So, yeah, I do think it's hard not to at least have interest in Peyton Pritchard at $7K. Not the most appealing price tag. A little bit of sticker shock there, but projects well there, depending on where you're looking, 35 to 40 fantasy points, going to play big minutes here. Not like the greatest spot in the world, but not a bad spot. Not that you're afraid of Brooklyn by any means. So he's going to get ownership as he should. I don't think it gets too crazy because of that price tag. So I'm in on Pritchard here. He's a guy that if I were playing one lineup here would certainly be in the mix. Not going to sit here and say I would lock him in because I think there are a bunch of other good plays on this slate, but I might. Like, he's definitely in that like small core of guys that could make that lineup. So I'm in on Pritchard. Jaylen Brown, pretty easy sell here as well. Top 3 usage in the NBA. Just ask JB himself. No one's playing better in the league than him right now. So usage king, as I like to call him, playing big minutes, 50 plus fantasy points in 3 straight, and then like a bunch out of his last 10. So I don't think he's got 70-point upside here, but I think he should land, between 50, 55, 48 to 55 fantasy points here, which you'll take. Obviously, the higher end would be a lot better at 10K. So those are the main 2 guys. I think you can, in tournaments, maybe start to look at like a Baylor Shireman, really, really cheap. Not going to be owned at all because of the OKC value. Fringy at best, though. All of a sudden, if we get Queta out, I think that really opens up Luka Garza. Presuming he starts, I think you just jam him in. If Luka Garza starts, I'm playing him. If I were playing 150, I wouldn't be playing him in every single lineup. But if I'm playing 3 lineups tonight, he's likely to make all 3, at least 2 or 3 if he's starting. Just a really good fantasy points per minute guy. Again, not a bad matchup. I think he plays in any game script. So I'm pretty excited about Luka Garza if Queta's out. I don't think he's like a horrible play if Queta's in. We've seen Brooklyn, get blown out. They lost by 50 last time out. Garza's certainly going to benefit in those type of scenarios. He's only 4,100. Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Luka Garza. Those are my 3 favorite guys here. From the Brooklyn side, I struggle, man. Like Michael Porter Jr., certainly in close games can get there, but I feel like they're limiting his minutes more now than they were even like a month ago. Brooklyn seems to be in more of a tank mode than they were. They'll probably ship MPJ off, I would imagine, in the next couple of weeks before the deadline. So I don't really think they have the motivation to play him huge minutes. I'm out on Brooklyn. I don't think you need any Brooklyn if you play even 3 Boston guys. Certainly, if you're spending up on JB and Pritchard, you want Brooklyn to keep it competitive, but I still don't even know if that means there's anyone I want from that side.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've been on the Nets for, 2+ years, even with Cam Thomas chucking, and yeah, they may have like 7 dudes scored, 10 plus, 12 plus points a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If it's close, I could easily see it like that, where like literally 7 or 8 guys score between 10 to 15 points.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to ask you about this too. You didn't mention them, but Hauser's been starting. And then Simons with no D White. He won't start, but like I said earlier, I mean, there's going to be some more shots going around. Tournament plays for me only, but what about you?
Yeah, tournament plays only. Good call outs. I should have mentioned those guys because they're expensive enough where like they don't project well, but there are plenty of scenarios. Certainly I see it with Simons at 5K, a little more than Hauser at 5,200, where he nukes that price point in tournaments. I mean, we've seen Simons get hot before. With D White out, all of a sudden Pritchard gets into foul trouble or he's struggling and Simons gets a few more minutes. This game gets a little wonky. Simons would be the guy that I think is a really intriguing pivot off of, Pritchard here. And the Hauser call, like he's not going to get any ownership and he's going to be a piece of Boston. Boston is going to get love. So I get the contrarian aspect about him. Just nothing really stands out about his price tag for me to want to get there.
Yeah, what scares me with Pritchard is like we haven't seen that, 8 for 12 type shooting night from him in a long, long time. I don't even remember the last time that was. I have to go back and look. But yeah, Pritchard at 7K, big boy price tag. FanDuel, once again, he's only 6,500 over there. So for me, he's a much better play over there. And yeah, we got him projected at 34 minutes. Then yeah, Nets. I'm out on the Nets for sure. Let's go over to the Kings and the Cavs. Cavs, no Darius Garland, as I alluded to earlier. He's going to miss tonight's contest. Taking on this Sacramento team. I think they're fully healthy outside of Sabonis. But talk to me a little bit about this game. Kings at your Cleveland Cavaliers.
So Sabonis is in, but he's not playing full minutes.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He's been like kind of in and out, and he's not playing full run. Like he's only projected for, depending on where you look, like 21 to 24 minutes here. So he's not really in play. No, not any bad. Just he's kind of taking away all the Sacramento guys. As far as the Cavs go, Garland's going to be out like a week. So we've seen this before without DG. He's been out for a couple games in that span already. Price tags are pretty full for Cleveland here. Like Spida, Donovan Mitchell. I love how he's starting at point guard, presuming he starts at point guard here again tonight. Maybe they throw Craig Porter in this matchup, but, again, presuming they start the same lineup they have been. Mitchell at 9,700. Tags up there, but like I could see plenty of worlds in plenty of worlds where this game really gets there in tournaments and you need multiple pieces from it. Cleveland's been very, very up and down. We saw it last game against Charlotte. They were up by 20, 25 at one point in that game, ended up winning by, I think, 5. Charlotte cut it to 2 in the fourth quarter. So Cleveland is not very consistent. Even if they do roll Sacramento here, I would have to imagine that Mitchell plays a big part in that. So, yeah, I'm interested in Spida at 9,700. Shooting guard only eligible. I'm fine with it. Projects really well. And all of a sudden, if you get a close game or an outlier where Sacramento plays well, he could spike at this price point. So, yeah, I like him quite a bit. Mobley, tough for me to get there at 8,700. I know his price tag's down a little bit. He had been around 9K, but I don't know. I feel like between Mitchell and Mobley, when they're this close, I want Mitchell. And, again, even though he is $1,000 more, so when I say this close, I recognize that. Just give me Mitchell in those scenarios. After that, from Cleveland, man, I love Jalen Tyson. It's been, outside of Mitchell, the second best player on the Cavs this season, considering Mobley's lack of progression. But it's 6,600. That's a steep tag for Tyson. I'm not sure I can get there. I want to. If I were game stacking this game, I would play a little Tyson. But on this slate, I'm not sure that that's the optimal way to go. I really want to play Tyson here. I just think he's too expensive at 6,600. Jarrett Allen, no thanks. Outside of Mitchell and Mobley, I mean, it's tough to get to much of Cleveland. As far as Sacramento, kind of the same story. They never get a ton of ownership, and they're not going to get a ton of love here. I think these guys are in play in tournaments. Russell Westbrook, 7,900. I know he's coming off a couple not stellar outings, but before that had been above 40 in a bunch of games in a row. He's under 8K. Malik Monk under 5K certainly has upside. And then a sleeper I have on this slate that I don't think gets any love, and I know that Sabonis is back and, minutes aren't secure. Dylan Cardwell, 4,500 for Sacramento, getting like all the backup 5 run, has just been playing really, really good ball, and he's not going to get any ownership in a game that could easily blow out where he'd get extra runs. So want to call out Cardwell. I've played a bunch of him lately, and I don't think he's out of play here. I also don't think the expensive guys from Sacramento are completely out of play. It's just really tough to know where to go if you are getting there.
Yeah, we had some Cardwell questions in the chat, so appreciate you touching on that. And I was looking at just what you were talking about. Is
damn, I didn't even see that. I love
nice.
that we're getting that shout out in the chat because I think that he's definitely in play here.
Yeah, I saw a post game thing, and that guy, he's not going to score, but he's going to go out there and hustle his rear end off, get you blocks, get you rebounds. But you mentioned it, and I was thinking about Sabonis coming back. Him and Sabonis have played some together. I know the last game, Sabonis set out on the 21st. But yeah, Cardwell at 4,500 backup center minutes for sure. Great play there. And then yeah, Spida I really like. I'm with you, Jalen Tyson, too expensive. And then the Twin Towers, Mobley and Jarrett Allen. I like Jarrett Allen at $6,500. No one's going to play him tonight, but he's got double potential written all over him, especially if Sabonis is limited, which it sounds like he's going to be. So yeah, give me that front court for the Cavs, and then Spida as what is Spida, 9,700? Is that what we said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like them, and then yeah, I'm out on these outside of Cardwell. I'm probably out on these Kings, but good call out there. Moving over to the next game. We got 2 games left on the slate. If you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We go back to the 2020, 2021 Zion versus Ja. Although Ja won't be in there tonight, these guys will forever be intertwined. But Zion is in, Ja is out. Cam Spencer is going to get a lot of ownership. A lot of these Grizzlies, Matt, they got a lot of value tonight because their prices are cheap. Waiting on Jock Landale news. Who thought we'd be talking about that in 2026? But that is kind of key to this slate. If you take Jock out, who else is going to get those center minutes, those 5 minutes? They don't have many people. Spoiler alert. So talk to me a little bit about this game. Pelicans at the Grizzlies. For whatever reason, I feel like it's always a shootout when these two go toe-to-toe. 240-point total. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start from the Memphis side just because I do think there's more to break down there. As far as Cam Spencer goes, I'm just going to play him here. I like him a lot when Ja is out. Ja is out here. He's not like crazy cheap, but he's too cheap for this role with Ja out. I mean, he's just a really good natural point guard. Could easily see him double here in points and assists. Great matchup, under 6K. Of the chalky guys on this slate, like he's by far my favorite. I know that he's getting more ownership than Pritchard, but between the two, it's not even close for me. Give me Cam Spencer all day if I had to choose between Spencer and Pritchard. The 2 highest owned point guards on this slate. So I like Cam Spencer a lot here. He looks great. Cedric Howard, 5,400. He was already getting a lot of ownership on the last slate with Ja in at the same price tag, has been playing well. Now he's even cheaper with Ja out. So yeah, he looks really, really good here. Jaren Jackson, man, I was talking to my buddy earlier. Shout out to my boy Matt Roth, who's watching the show here. One of the best high school football players you'll ever see, by the way, years ago. But we were talking about Jaren Jackson. Told him that I don't know if I've played Jaren Jackson once this year in hand build stuff, but tonight might be the night with them being, flush out of big men, especially if Landale's out. Good matchup against the Pels. Oh, I hate saying it because he just can't rebound for a big man, but I like Triple J here. Even if Landale's in, but especially if Landale's out, he'll just have to eat up a bunch of that center spot run tonight. I think you could see Gigi Jackson in the mix if Landale's out. I'm not exactly sure how Memphis would play it. I don't even know if they know how they would play it, but with Landale out, if he's out, Edey out, Aldama out, they just don't really have guys to play inside here. So all of a sudden you're going to get Jaren Jackson playing a ton of the 5 with Gigi Jackson mixing in. I don't know exactly how they're going to play it, but all the big men, the guys that could potentially play 5 tonight for Memphis, I'd be interested in. Vince Williams at 4,400, I think looks pretty good here, projects pretty well. KCP, gross. Like there's better value on OKC, but the OKC value will probably get more love than KCP. So I don't think he's like the worst play in the world. John Conchar, even grosser. Like I'm not excited about playing KCP and Conchar. Jalen Wells, I struggle to get there just because he's actually like pricey, 4,900. I think you're going to get an ownership discount there. So that would be the appealing part of him. But really it's Spencer, Triple J, Cedric Howard. If I'm making one lineup right now, I think I see no problem in playing Spencer, Coward, and Triple J, especially if Landale's out. If Landale's in, I think he himself looks to be in play, but 5,500. I think there are better center options. Mark Williams, for example, looks a little bit better at the same price point, but I think he would be an interesting pivot at what I would expect to be lower ownership. From the New Orleans side, Zion in, he's 7,600. Not going to play a ton of minutes, but should play well when he's in. Again, no inside defense for Memphis here. So Zion should eat. You'd think Queen would be able to put up a good game here, but he's just so bad on the defensive end. I can't trust his minutes ever. I don't care who's playing center for the other team. He can't stay in front of that guy. So I'm probably out on Queen until I see it from him. But Zion in play. Trey Murphy has just played really good ball this year in play in a game that is clearly appealing. After that, Herb Jones, I believe, is still questionable. He's got a good tag. It's really just Zion and Murphy for me. Sadiq Bey, sure. Jordan Poole's low enough where I don't think you're out of your mind playing him in multi-entry stuff. But they just got a bunch of guys that kind of all project the same at similar price points. So Murphy, Zion for me, the two main guys from New Orleans. But I want a lot of Memphis here.
Yeah, Memphis. Coward kind of scares me. He hadn't topped 27 minutes in his last 7. Cam Spencer, I'm with you all over him. You're right. Clicking on John Conchar would be one of the grossest things. Jaren Jackson Jr., I love him. And then I love Zion as well from the other side. Sounds like I'm going to be watching me some Matt Roth high school football highlights on YouTube tonight.
Bro, you got – I mean, I played it. I went to a small high school, around Cleveland, but we were really, really good at football, especially my sophomore year, which was his senior year. He led the city of Cleveland in rushing, made the second round of the playoffs, could have easily played in a bunch of different places in college. Just a highlight reel waiting to happen.
There we go. I love me some good high school football. So shout out to your boy, Matt Roth. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. Last game on the slate is we have a finals rematch, but it's a little different this year, Matt. The Pacers probably won't get back this year. You mentioned it a couple times, but there is a ton of value on the OKC side tonight. No AJ Mitchell, no Wiggins again, no Hartenstein, no Jalen Williams with the what is that, like a EN? What is he, J-Dub or J-Will, whatever he is. The better one, Jalen Williams is out. SGA is in. Chet is in. No major injuries for the Pacers. Mathurin has been out for quite some time. Obviously, Halliburton's been out all season. But talk to me a little bit about this game. I noticed the other night McConnell didn't get much run. Is he in the doghouse or what's going on with that? Talk to me a little bit through that. But Pacers at the Thunder.
Yeah, so you've just got a whole heap load of guys out for the Thunder. Obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein still out. AJ Mitchell now out. Aaron Wiggins out for them as well. So I'm not sure. I don't think anyone's sure exactly how they're going to play it. Alex Caruso out as well. You mentioned J-Dub. So, yeah, they're missing a bunch of wings here. I see a lot of their big men projected for pretty high ownership. Jay Will, the other Jalen Williams, going to be very, very popular here. Before he got hurt, he started at center, was playing really well, had like 15 fantasy points in 8 minutes, but then hurt his back. I think that was the game against Cleveland where they rolled, hurt his back and never came back in and then didn't play in the last game. If he's starting at center at 3,700, I think there's certainly minutes fragility and you're not secure about it. There's no security there, but at that price point in this spot, hard not to just click him in at 3,700. I feel the same about Kenrich Williams, no matter what. He won't start, but he's been playing really well. He's kind of like their grit guy. Like he's just going to get it done for them and going to play a bunch of minutes, D's up, plays really good defense. I could see him getting there in a multitude of ways tonight. Stocks could play extra minutes in a blowout scenario here. Kenrich Williams, I like quite a bit here. Obviously, he's not like a fantasy points per minute stud, so it's never going to surprise you if he plays 25 minutes and only scores 18 fantasy points. But on the days where he's got his shot going and picks up a couple stocks, he's got, easy 30 plus fantasy upside here. So those two guys obviously going to be wildly in play here. Isaiah Joe at 4K Cason Wallace at, I believe he's 4,200. Yeah, all these guys are in play. I think Kenrich and Jalen look really, really good at under 4K. Shea looks good here. Again, they're missing a lot of their scoring. Talked about J-Dub being out. No AJ Mitchell, so without their backup point guard. Shea at 10-7. You worry about the blowout here, but Shea generally plays the entire first quarter, the entire third quarter, and then comes in with like 6.5, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter and in the second quarter. Maybe this game's a little bit closer than anticipated and doesn't take that much. Like if it's a 12, 15-point game in the middle of the fourth quarter, Shea will come back in. Now, he might lose some run after that, but as long as you don't get one of those outlier, 30-point games after 3, you're not too worried about Shea losing his run. And like I said with Mitchell, like if OKC rolls here, I would have to assume that Shea at least has something to do with that. Same can be said for Chet Holmgren, who won't get nearly as much love. And outside of last game, had been playing really well. You're seeing all like the backup scrubby big men get love for OKC. And I like those guys, but Chet is like the main guy they still have that's there. Going to play a ton of minutes, big rebounding equity here, always has stock upside. Kind of talking myself in on Chet here because he's like not getting a lot of love when everyone else on OKC is getting love, and he's unequivocally their second best player tonight for sure. So I think I'm more in on Chet than the field is. As far as all the other guys go, it's hard to find a bad play on OKC tonight.
I heard you mention Scrubs and Chet Holmgren in the same sentence, but I don't think you were talking about him. I can't stand that guy. No, I can't stand Chet Holmgren, man.
Oh, okay, so that's okay. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, certainly not a scrub, but
not a scrub. Well played. He looks good tonight. Yeah, Jalen Williams looks very good tonight. I'm with you there, both sides. So what is he? 3,700, and I think 4,300 on FanDuel, 4,400 on FanDuel. He's in a great spot. SGA's in a great spot too. And then, Pascal would be the only I think Pascal would be the only pacer that I'm interested in. Someone asked Pascal versus JJ, and it's JJ for me, by a landslide. We got a Brandon Carlson. Last time we played Brandon Carlson, this was great. I'd have to go back. I don't know if you remember. That was 2 weeks ago. It was Brandon Carlson chalk night at Memphis. I think I said the worst play on the slate, and he scored like 10 fantasy points. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. I'm not playing Brandon Carlson. Are you, Matt?
I don't think so. I don't really get it. Like, I know guys are out for OKC, so I guess I get it in the sense that like everyone who's healthy is going to play. But with J Will back in, like it seems like with Kenrich in, like he's behind those guys. So I think that he'll play a little bit, and in blowout scenarios, he could get there. But I really don't like playing guys where you have to rely on the blowout run. And I feel like that's the scenario with him here.
Yeah. Excellent stuff there. Excellent breakdown. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get out of here, I need two plays from you, Matt. Give me your top end play, and then give me your best value play on the slate. I'll let you. We'll each give one. You give your top end guy, and then I'll give my top end guy. Then we'll each give a value guy.
All right, so for my top end guy, I'm gonna go with the guy we talked about a little bit ago, my hometown team. I think this game is closer than expected because the Cavs aren't very good. So give me Spidey here, Donovan Mitchell at the high end. Not going to be crazy on. The price tag's a little bit up. I think he gets there in a big way tonight at 9,700. The lower owned guy, I'm gonna go with the guy we just talked about. Give me Chet here. Again, fits a lot of those boxes I'm talking about. Price tag's up just enough where he's not getting loved by the field. Every other piece of OKC is going to be higher owned than him, which is just bizarre. I mean, I get it because of the price tags, but in that scenario, again, their second best player, big upside here on both ends. Give me Chet as that low owned guys. And then before you answer, I have a question for you. I got to know why the Giannis hate, just because I'm indifferent to him, but like I find him pretty unhateable.
Well, I just don't think he's good at basketball. I mean, I think he's obviously the Greek freak. He's good at getting rebounds. He's good at taking 7 steps and dunking. He's good at being a man-child, but he can't shoot. He shoots like 20% from 3. I just don't like him as a basketball player. But he's a heck of an athlete. I won't take that away from him.
That's fair. Did you ever have similar feelings about LeBron or no?
Oh my gosh, yes. I couldn't stand LeBron.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. See, those are fighting words to me. So we'll
No. I've changed my tune over the years. LeBron's amazing. I mean,
I get your sentiment though. Like as far as pure skill and like I know what you're saying, especially with Giannis, certainly more than Bron.
Yeah.
No, you hate Shaq too. You hate Shaq.
I
hate Shaq.
The Diesel. No, I love Shaq. Yeah, no one's telling me to go shovel snow. This is good. But see, I'm an MJ guy though, so like I'm a different era. Like I love MJ, so
I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Trey Murphy. I like Trey Murphy tonight. I love him. Zion, I think he has an illness, and I talked about those Grizzlies Pelicans games can turn into a track meet. So I like Trey Murphy. And I'm going to go with your boy as well. Give me some Jared Allen. It's kind of my low owned like center guy that's going to play.
Yeah, that's an out there call. He is going to be really, really low owned. You intrigued me when you made up that call. I forgot to go back to you on that one just because he's going to be very, very low owned just because he's been playing very uninspiring basketball. That said, he does spike upside like every few 5-6 games. This could be an easy spot for it, as you mentioned. Sacramento just doesn't have guys inside. So I like that call. You might have me tilting Jared Allen later tonight, which I hate. But on that note,
I don't want to have to sleep with that tonight.
No, maybe in one lineup, but probably not.
Right.
But on that note, my core plays will be out. Your core plays will be out. Rio's will be out. I know Rio did the slate plan. If you want to see us in the Discord, we got that $19 for 5-day trial going on, and then the $9 daily trial where you get access to everything. So come join us, man. We got a great crew and great family over here.
Yeah, good time. We got people in the chat. I feel like 24/7, Matt. Your boy Ham goes to bed early, wakes up, and there's like 1,000 messages in there. New ones is in there all the time. A lot of folks in here. We'd love to have you over there. Hey, that'll do it for me. Everybody stay safe out there. Get some rest. Stay out of that cold weather. Good luck tonight in your contest. We hope to see you at the top of the leaderboards. Until next Friday, let's ship it.